Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. And today we are back with another discussion video. This time around, I want to talk about Clair Obscur Expedition 33. As I have recently finished this game, I think it was a phenomenal game. Do I think it's game of the year? Not in my opinion. No, me personally, Death Stranding 2 is my game of the year, but you know, to each their own for opinion wise. But yeah, this game was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. Not my game of the year, but I think everyone has a different opinion on their game of the year. But regardless, the game is phenomenal. It's awesome. It's the first turn-based game I've loved, which is rare because turn-based, I hate turn-based. And, you know, for a game to make turn-based fun, unheard of, to be honest. So, what I want to talk about today, though, with this game is I have a theory about it. Basically, because the story for me, I don't think, if the game had ended with beating the Paintress, that to me, I felt like would have been, like, an alright game. Like, it felt like the fact that there were 3 acts and there were epilogues, prologues, etc. Made the game really enjoyable and made it so you could tell that there was passion put into the game. And I think Act 3 is what really got me intrigued, because I was already putting things together, like when what's her name? I can't remember the names, I'm blanking, but when the family of painters, the sisters, when they started talking to each other, like every line I was like putting things together. I was like, oh my god, I was like bro, like I was starting to piece things together. I'm like, oh my god, like they're just playing God outside of a world, and I think that to me is crazy. But I wanted to talk about a theory with this game that I had, which is basically the fact that there's painters and writers, and they can basically paint their own world or they can write their own world. I think we are going to see like a whole series with Clair Obscur basically going over, like, it's crazy, but like it seems like the devs want to turn career paths into playing God, basically. Like these career paths, so if you're a writer, you're a painter, you're someone who can create a world out of what your career path is, you can suddenly play God in a little world, which is so interesting and so messed up at the same time, because you're playing with people's lives that don't even matter. Like, to me, that, oh my god, dude, that's crazy. But now you can kind of see, like, with Expedition 33, you can see where the devs were going with the story and what they were trying to tell. You just suddenly realize, like, oh my god, like, they've created the story where suddenly, oh, if someone can make a world out of their career, you're screwed. Like, I don't know. I think there's going to be a series, we're going to see this series expand. So, like, I'm guessing whatever the next Clair Obscur game is will be about the writers, and I'm assuming they're gonna intro everything with how the writers, because I think there was something where, like, Verso or whatever, he died in a fire and his sister was there as well, but the writers caused that. We're probably gonna see we're gonna see a prologue to that. And that's how the writer's story is going to start, I'm guessing, because everyone knows the gimmick now. Everyone knows the plot. Like, they could start the next game with hiding, like, oh, this, like, we're not going to reveal everything until Act 3. But to be honest, I think people are already going to predict that. So I think it makes more sense to start off with, okay, let's set the tone. You already know what you're in for, so let's just do the writers. But then, like, there's other career paths where you could go, oh, people can create worlds out of this career or something like that. Like, I think we're going to see more than just painters and writers. I think we're going to see, like, any career you could think of that could create a world out of something. I think that we're going to see more career paths made God. And it's so that to me is so intriguing, because then like you actually have a series for this game that could be really cool, and then, you know, obviously the studio could move on and make another game that isn't centered around that. But yeah, I don't know. I think I honestly believe that this studio has captured something really cool story-wise, and they're doing something that no one else has done. I don't know if I can name a game where people in the real world are playing God with like a little like imaginary world. Like, I don't know. I don't think I could name a game that does that, but it's super interesting to see a studio attempt this and just knock it out of the park, because I was blown away when Act 3 hit. I was like, what is happening? Because like you think, oh, Act 2, it's the end, and then suddenly things go wrong. It's wild to me that like I was kind of piecing together things throughout the game, but then when Act 3 hit, everything kind of just made sense, and like my brain started kind of, were like fireworks going off in my brain, like, oh my god, this is happening. And while it's not my game of the year, dude, they did a phenomenal job with the story. I think the storytelling, like, you know, the gameplay, it makes me love turn-based, but the story is the standout for this game. And you know what? Story aside, the soundtrack, dude. I pre-ordered the. I don't know if I pre-ordered, but I bought the CD box set of this entire soundtrack, and I might pick up the vinyl too, because, dude, the soundtrack is just. It's chef's kiss. It's just like, I don't know where I'd rank these things, but like, I don't know. I'd probably rank maybe story number 1, soundtrack number 2, and then gameplay at number 3. Like, that's where I would rank things. And I wasn't even going for the plat for this game. I was just trying to play through it to experience it, and I'm glad I did, because a friend recommended it to me and thought, you know, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a try, give it a whirl, and I was not disappointed. I think it's wild that a studio could just put this together. And I remember like my friend telling me that the studio, the guy who started the studio got bored at Ubisoft and was like, I'm gonna make this game. And I'm like, you got bored, so you're just like, I'm gonna make a game that sounds cool. But yeah, no, genuinely, I do think like next game is probably gonna be about the Writers Guild or whatever, and then after that, who knows? They could do anything. They really could, because genuinely, I think any career path could make a world out of nothing and play God with it. But we'll probably learn more about the other career paths that are playing God in the next game, I'm guessing. But who knows? I thought I'd talk about this just because I'm so curious as to where they would go with the next game, but I already have an idea of where they would go. Or if they might just be moving on. Who knows? Maybe they've already told the story, like you already know what to expect. Maybe they're just going to move on to something new, but who knows? Anywho, I'm going to call the video here. Thank you guys for watching, hanging out. I appreciate it a ton. I will see you guys in the next video, and yeah, goodbye.